There are three ways of doing lane management. We have the freeze, slow push, and then the fast push. You should know how and when to use these to win your lane. First, the fast push. It is the simplest, for all you need to do is to push your minions towards the enemy turret as fast as you could. You should do this usually when you want to reset or go back to base, when you want to go for a roam, when you want to prevent the enemy from going back to base, when you want to set a turret dive, or you just want to simply pressure the lane. Doing fast push is risky, for you will be far up in the lane, making it easier for you to get ganked, so be sure to put wards on areas you know where the enemy might come from, and make sure you have means of escaping a gank. Second, the slow push. You do this when you want to push by building up your minion wave. You do this by only last hitting the enemy minions and wait for your next minion wave to come. When your new minion wave arrives, you would want to clear the current enemy minion wave, ensuring that you have more minions than your enemy laner, for your last minion wave is added to the new minion wave. This will push your lane slowly but surely as long as you're building up the waves. This will give you high advantage when doing trades, for you have more minions backing you up. You should know how to alternate with slow push and fast push to lane efficiently. Usually you would like to start off by using slow push, build up at least 2 minion waves and force trades with your enemy laner. When you win the trade either by killing them or getting them low in health, switch to fast push either to get turret plates or go back to base and reset, or even roam. Lastly, we have the freeze. This is a bit situational, and you do this when you want your minions and enemy minions meet at a specific area and make sure they stay there for an ample amount of time. Typically this would be just outside your turret range, for it is a safe area for you to stay, making it hard for you to get ganked but easier for your enemy laner to get ganked. You would want to freeze the lane when you are confident you are stronger than the enemy laner to zone them out of the minions, denying them experience and gold. But you can also do this when you are losing the lane and just stay near the turret and just wait for a gank. You wouldn't want to freeze the lane for too long, for this opens up an opportunity for your enemy laner to roam. I would not really recommend lane freezing as a mid laner, for the middle lane is too short for you to benefit from lane freezing. And your role as a mid laner is to either roam or prevent the enemy mid laner from roaming, therefore you only need slow and fast push. So that is it for lane management. As long as you keep on playing and earn experience how to properly lane, you will develop incredible decision making as to when and how to use these 3 ways of doing lane management. As a jungler, your main source of gold and experience is in the jungle. This gives you the most freedom to roam, therefore giving you the most responsibility in the team. It is your role to help your team win their lanes and secure objectives such as Dragons, Rift Herald, and Baron. There are 2 main jungler types in the current roster of champions in Wildrift. We have the power farmers. These champions have very weak early game and weak gank potential, for they don't provide any hard crowd control, but they are strong mid to late game. Therefore they rely on farming until they reach a power spike, be it by item or by level. As an example, we have Master Yi, Tryndamere, and Shyvana. Next, we have the hard gankers. These champions have high early kill potential and high gank potential, for they have crowd control and good gap closers. Therefore you should utilize this and gank as much as possible. These champions are usually at their strongest in early to mid game. As an example, we have Amumu, Lee Sin, Jax and Xin Zhao. But regardless of what kind of champion you are playing, as a jungler you should balance farming and ganking. You should know how to adapt and adjust your playstyle as the game goes on, for each game, situation changes, and every game runs differently. The main skill you should develop is your decision making. As a jungler, you should also know how to trade with the enemy jungler. If the enemy jungler ganks the Baron lane, you should go gank Dragon lane, or take Dragon instead, or take his blue side of the jungle. You should also punish enemies that hard pushes their lane. Don't let them pressure your ally laners for free. Now let's talk about the jungle camps, buffs, objectives, and plans. First, the neutral camps. These camps are your main source of experience and gold. Over the bot side of the jungle we have the raptors, krugs, and the red brambleback. Over the top side of the jungle we have the wolves, gromp, and the blue sentinel. All of the neutral camps spawn at the 20-second mark of the game. Killing the raptors, krugs, wolves, and gromp only gives you money and gold, and they will respawn after 1 minute and 30 seconds. Killing the red brambleback gives you gold, experience, and the Crest of Cinders buff. With this buff, when you basic attack an enemy, it slows them and it applies a true damage burn. This buff is good for fighting or ganking. Upon killing the blue sentinel it also gives you gold, experience, and the Crest of Insight buff. This buff gives you high mana or energy regeneration and also increases your health regeneration when out of combat. This buff gives you good overall sustain. Both blue sentinel and red brambleback respawns after 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Over the river, we have the two rift scuttler or the scuttle crab, one on the top side of the map and the other on the bottom side. Killing this will give you gold, experience, and restores health and mana or energy. Killing this will also give you an area of vision for 90 seconds outside the Baron Pit or Dragon Pit depending on which scuttle crab you killed. Upon walking over on that area, you will also gain a short movement speed boost. This monster is considered a minor objective, for the vision alone gives you advantage. This monster is unique for it is the only monster that is non-hostile. When you attack it, it will only attempt to flee away from you. This monster spawns at the 1 minute and 25 second mark of the game and then respawns after 1 minute and 35 seconds after the area of vision is gone. For the plants we have the Scryer's Bloom. Attacking this will give you a vision in a direction for a short period of time, revealing enemies and enemy wards. Next we have the Blast Cone. Attacking this plant will send you flying towards the direction where you attacked it from as long as you are within its blast radius. Lastly we have the Honey Fruit. Attacking this spawns 3 fruits. Stepping on these fruits will restore your health and mana or energy, and it will also slow your movement speed for a short time. Now let's talk about the jungle objectives. First we have the dragons. A dragon spawns at the 4-minute mark of the game and respawns after 4 minutes. The game has 4 elemental dragons: infernal, cloud, ocean and mountain dragons. The element of the dragon that will spawn is random and each element gives you a different buff which your whole team gets if you kill it. For the cloud dragon it gives your team additional base movement speed and that is double when you are out of combat. This buff increases your team's mobility. The ocean dragon gives your team physical and magical vampirism. Dealing magic or physical damage heals you for a percentage of the damage dealt. This buff increases your team's sustainability. The mountain dragon gives your team a shield based on a percentage of your maximum health. This buff increases your team's defense. And lastly we have the infernal dragon, which increases your team's physical and magical damage. This buff increases your team's offense. After killing a dragon, the dragon pit will have a symbol representing what will be the next element of the dragon. After killing the 4th dragon of the game, the next dragon will be an elder dragon. Elder dragons will also have an element giving you the same stats as the regular dragons but at a greater scale. Elder mountain dragon will give you more shield, elder cloud dragon will give you more movement speed, and so on. There will only be 1 elder dragon per game, so be sure to secure it so that your team will have the elder dragon buff. This buff will give you the ability to burn the enemy with true damage when you attack or damage them. True damage means that it will ignore the defense of the enemy, both armor and magic resist. All dragon buffs are permanent and will stack on top of each other. Next we have the Rift Herald. There is only 1 Rift Herald in the game and it spawns in the Baron Pit at the 6-minute mark of the game. Killing the Rift Herald will allow you to summon it on a lane. The Rift Herald will then push that lane, and when it encounters an enemy tower, it tackles that tower, dealing a lot of damage to that tower and to the Rift Herald itself. Also, when fighting the Rift Herald, there are times where the eye at its back will open. You will deal more damage to it if you hit that. I would suggest you summon the Rift Herald when you want to put pressure on that lane and then divide the enemy's attention so that you can secure an objective. For example, my team is setting up to take the dragon. I would then put the Rift Herald on the Baron lane so that an enemy will be forced to defend that lane, therefore we can take the dragon, and if the enemy contests the dragon, we will have the number advantage, for they will have someone defending the Baron lane. But if the enemy does decide to contest the dragon as a full team, then this will ensure that the Rift Herald will have a lot of time to push the Baron lane. Lastly, we have the Baron. The Baron spawns at the 10-minute mark of the game and is considered the strongest neutral monster. Unlike the other monsters you can do this solo, you will always need at least 3 to do Baron. Killing this monster will temporarily give all alive ally champions the Hand of Baron buff. This buff empowers lane minions, increasing their movement speed, defense, and offense, and also increases the range for cannon and caster minions. When you got this buff, you should not waste it and maximize pushing all 3 lanes, for it only lasts for 2 minutes. You will lose this buff when you die, so be sure to prioritize pushing rather than fighting. The Baron will respawn after 3 minutes. Again, as a jungler, it is your role to secure these jungle objectives. Use your smite to last hit these monsters. Only use smite if you are the jungler. In the first minutes of the game, if you have smite, you will receive a debuff that lessens the experience and gold from killing the lane minions. So again, don't use smite as a laner, and always use smite as a jungler. I also suggest using Oracle Lens as your trinket from the very start of the game. This will help you gank more efficiently, for you will deny the enemy vision, therefore they won't see you coming. So, the standard clear for jungling: if you are playing a hard ganker, I suggest you go Raptors, and then Red Brambleback. Look for a gank in mid or bot lane. If there's no opening for a gank, then go to your blue buff, then kill the top side Scuttle Crab, and then gank mid or top. While if playing a power farmer, you just go straight Raptors, red, blue, top crab, and then gank. Whatever your style is, if you aren't planning to counter jungle, start with Raptors, for it's the safest camp to start with and also easier to clear. But if you are planning to counter jungle, then I suggest you take your red buff first, and then go straight to the enemy blue buff, then take the others camps if you can, or wait for the enemy jungler and try to kill him. But I suggest you don't counter jungle if you aren't confident you can kill the enemy jungler or escape from the enemy jungle, for the moment you fail and the enemy see you, they will for sure come and gang up on you. That is all for the basics of the jungle role. Keep in mind that you should always watch the spawn and respawn timers of these monsters and camps to efficiently jungle. Avoid doing nothing and waste your time. When the dragon is coming up, make sure to set up vision and clear enemy wards from that area. Same should be done when setting up for Baron or Rift Herald. And for our last topic, we will be talking about map control. This is a very underrated ability, but it is a team effort. Map control is all about proper lane pressure and controlling map vision to take free objectives or win clashes. When we say lane pressure, it is about forcing the enemy team to defend that lane you are pressuring, dividing the enemy team, therefore giving you an advantage in taking other objectives. This limits the freedom of the enemy team to roam the map, giving your team more control over the map. And now we have map vision. This is about your team putting the ward trinket on an area of the map and also using the Oracle Lens trinket to kill enemy wards, denying your enemy vision. By putting up wards, you can see where the enemies are, and also by using the Oracle Lens you deny enemy the freedom to roam, and this will give you an opportunity to set an ambush. Proper setting up of wards and sweeping out of enemy wards gives you more control of the map and will surely help you in your games. So that is it for this video. I hope that you learned the key principles of everything that I've discussed. These are just the basics that you need to keep in mind, in able to be efficient and smart with how you play. As you go along and play more games, you will develop decision-making skills instantly, just like an instinct. And that will surely help you be better at this game. This will be the last part of the beginner's guide, but I will surely put up an advanced tips and tricks and also champions guide, so stay tuned for that.